I'd like to say a few words as he about one of my favourite topics. Double entry bookkeeping!
Whoa!
What's that going for? Accountants love talking about double entry. I'm not an accountant. Anyway, do we have any accountants here by any chance? You see, we have one here. Don't you love double entry bookkeeping?
I do.
Don't you go to seminars about double entry bookkeeping?
Yeah, I remember studying it.
Yeah. Don't you go to parties? Double entry parties?
Yeah, keep it quiet.
Otherwise known as orgies.
Ooh.
Now you're interested. You see? Now, when it comes to choosing a topic, ladies and gentlemen, you need to choose something not like double entry bookkeeping, but something that interests your audience, something that is going to infuse them, entertain them, educate them, persuade them, inspire them. That is the first guideline. The second guideline is to talk about something that really infuses you, something that you're passionate about, something that burns inside. So when you start communicating, you're communicating with your very essence, the essence of you. And I'd like to give you one example, only one example. It happened about 7 or 8 years ago, and we had a lady in this club who was in her mid-50s, single, Scottish, and you'll remember her, George, of course. Don't know whether you were there at that moment. She was very shy, very diffident, not confident. She was a public servant, and it was quite difficult to understand what she was saying because she was so shy and her voice was so low and so heavily accented, Glaswegian accent, that it was pretty difficult to work out what she was saying. So it was a bit of a struggle for the audience every time she spoke, but we wished her well every time. All changed on her final speech to this club. I think it was her 6th or 7th, but it was her final speech, and she was introduced before she got up by the Toastmaster saying that this was her final speech to this club because she had sold her flat and she was returning to her roots in Glasgow to devote the rest of her life to rescuing the Scottish language. Not the Gaelic language as spoken by some Scots, by the Irish, by the Welsh, by the Bretons, by the Gaelians, but the Scottish language as spoken by Scottish kings before Union, as spoken by Arabi barons, and she was going to devote her life to that, and she spoke about it so passionately, so emotively, that we could understand every word she said. And not only understand it, but feel every word she said. And the audience became as moved as she was. And at the end, we all, with tears in our eyes, rose as one and applauded. And I've never seen that happen at Toastmasters before or since. Absolutely extraordinary. A transformation. Because she spoke with passion. She spoke from the heart. And if you do that, if you find a subject you can speak about so passionately, it doesn't matter if you have no notes, because you can talk about it forever and ever. And you'll speak from the heart and you'll communicate amazingly with the audience. So, remember, next time you're choosing a topic to speak about here or wherever else, think of a topic that is going to be of great interest to the audience, or potentially a great interest to the audience, firstly. And secondly, make sure it's a topic that is of great interest and passion to you, as long as it is not double entry bookkeeping. Now, talking about people who speak passionately about certain subjects, may I please welcome, as our master of ceremonies for this evening, a lady who is passionate, for example, about longbirds. Please welcome Emma Raw.